Hello there, world. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Joe, a licensed certified public accountant with over 10 years' experience in corporate and public accounting. I have an extensive background in accounting, audits, and taxes, and I'm all about helping you take control of your money and live smarter. Today, we're talking about something that can save you money at tax time: medical expense deductions. If you ever wonder what medical costs you can deduct on your taxes, you're in the right place. I'll keep it simple and jargon free so you can understand exactly what counts and what doesn't. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos and check out our blog site where we post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. First, what are medical expenses deductions? Basically, the government lets you subtract certain medical costs from your taxable income, which could lower your tax bill. But there is a catch. Only certain expenses qualify, and you have to itemize your deductions to claim them. So, what does this mean? If you take the standard deduction or your itemized deductions do not exceed your standard deduction, then you won't be able to use these medical expenses to lower your taxable income. Let's take a look at some of the common types of expenses that count. So these are just some of the common examples of medical expenses that count to help lower your taxable income. Payments to doctors, dentists, surgeons, and specialists, hospitals and nursing home care, prescription medication and insulin, medical equipment like wheelchairs or crutches, health insurance premiums if you pay them yourself, transportation costs to get to medical care like mileage or bus fare, and long term care services and certain home modifications for medical needs. Remember, these expenses have to be primarily for medical care. Let's take a look at the opposite side of this coin. Let's take a look at some of the medical expenses that do not qualify to be able to take this deduction. Some of these expenses that don't count are cosmetic procedures unless they're medically necessary. So, what does this mean? So, say you get burnt in a fire and your face needs to be you need to get some reskin on your face. That kind of cosmetic surgery will count for medical expenses. So let's look at the opposite of what doesn't count. So a couple of years ago I actually got LASIK surgery because I used to wear glasses and decided I wanted to throw away my glasses. So since I got this LASIK surgery, that actually does not count as a medical expense. That's something that I have to pay out of pocket because it's not a necessary procedure in the eyes of the IRS. Some of the other things are over the counter medicines like vitamins or supplements. So, getting just like your regular Tylenol, or if you're into weightlifting and maybe you use some sort of supplements, or getting B, your vitamin B, all those types of things, they do not count as a medical expense. So, you can't take that for a medical deduction. General health club memberships, unless it's prescribed for a specific medical condition. So that means things such as just having a gym membership, or being part of some sort of fitness club or a run club. Unless it's prescribed for some sort of medical condition, that will not count as an expense. And then non-prescription glasses or contacts. These usually uh, do count, but you have to check for specific rules. But generally, they do not count because they're not medically cleared. So it's just something like if you're picking up reading glasses, or if you want to color contacts that don't really have any prescription in it, those aren't going to count as medical expenses. But remember to always check your local tax guidelines for the exact rules. So let's take a look at how exactly do we claim the medical deduction expense on our tax return. So, you're going to need to itemize your deductions on your tax returns. That means that you list your deductible expenses instead of taking the standard deduction. And remember, your itemized deductions has to exceed your standard deduction in order for the medical expense deduction to count. And then there's a buy-in. So let me break this down. What does this mean? Your total medical expenses must be more than 7.5% of your AGI, or your adjusted gross income, to get this tax benefit. So, for example, if you earn $40,000 a year, the only expenses that you'll be able to count will be anything over $3,000. So if your AGI is $40,000, 7.5% of that is $3,000 account. So anything under that 7.5% will not count to be able to, in order to claim the medical expense deduction. So it has to be over 7.5% of your adjusted gross income. So again, I'm going to give you guys an example again. So if, let's say your AGI for the year is $40,000, the only medical expenses you'll be able to claim is anything over $3,000 based on that AGI. So whatever your AGI is, just times it by 7.5%, and that's your buy-ins because there's a floor for the medical expenses. So anything over 7.5%, I know I keep stressing that, but I just want to make sure I'm driving home the point there that it has to be more than 7.5% of your AGI. You're going to want to keep detailed records and receipts in case you need to prove your expenses. So remember to always keep those receipts and those medical records showing that you got the care and that whatever it is that you got done does you're claiming does actually count toward that expense. Here's a few quick tips for claiming the medical expense deduction. Remember, keep track of everything throughout the year. Don't wait until tax time to try to find those receipts. If you save them, store them away, put them somewhere electronically, keep a folder. That'll make it easier come tax time. So that way, all you got to do is pull it out and you can figure out how much all those expenses were. Don't forget things like mileage or parking fees when going to medical appointments. You want to keep a mileage log or even make sure you're keeping those parking receipts so that way you can claim that as well for your medical from your medical appointments. And if you're unsure about a specific expense, ask a tax professional or check the IRS's guidelines online. So here's the bottom line. Medical expense deductions can put money back in your pocket if you know what counts. Keep your records, know the rules, and make your taxes work for you. If this helped you, hit that like button. And let me know in the comments, have you ever claimed a medical expense on your taxes? And be sure to come back next week to learn about taxes and Social Security income. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications. And check out our blog site where we post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.